I still live in Oakhaven. I have to. Leaving would feel like a betrayal, though of who or what I couldn't rightly tell you. Maybe of the memory, maybe of the guilt. This village sits in the crook of the valley like a stone in a pocket, and the mist that rolls down the hills each evening feels like a blanket we pull over our heads, hiding from things we don't want to see. But we all remember. Especially when the autumn air turns sharp and carries the smell of wood smoke and decaying leaves. That's when the story of Leo Pryce feels closest, like a chill you can't shake. I was 12 the summer Leo vanished. He was 8, a little wisp of a thing with hair the color of wheat, and eyes that were always seeing something just beyond your shoulder. He was my neighbor, and I was often tasked with keeping an eye on him, a duty I resented. He was a dreamer, and I was on the cusp of being a teenager, far too cool for make-believe. But Leo's make-believe was different. It started with the drawings. His mother, Mrs. Pryce, would find them tucked under his pillow or in his lunch pail. Not the usual stuff, not dinosaurs or rockets. These were sketches of a tall, impossibly thin figure. It had long, spidery limbs that ended in too many fingers, and its face. God, its face was the worst part. It wasn't scary, not in a monster-under-the-bed way. It was drawn with a child's careful, loving hand. It had a wide, curving smile and eyes that were different sizes, but both were kind. It looked like a friend. He called it Mr. Scratch. We all thought it was a phase. Kids have imaginary friends. But Leo's had a physicality to it. He'd come back from his daily trips into the Windwood, the old forest that bordered our village, with proof. His pockets would be full of things. A river stone worn smooth as glass and warm to the touch. A owl's feather, but in a color no owl around here ever had. A blackberry in October, long after the season had passed. And he always smelled clean, not like boy sweat and dirt, but of deep, damp earth and something sweet, like honeysuckle on a cold night. The old-timers at the general store would stop their checker game when Leo skipped past. Old man Hemlock, his face a roadmap of wrinkles, would watch him go and mutter around his pipe. That's the hollow man's scent. He's a lonely thing. Lures him with pretty trinkets and sweet smells. Likes the sound of their laughter. It's a sound the deep wood never made on its own. We'd laugh it off. Superstition. Folk tales to scare kids from getting lost. But the truth is, the Windwood was different. It was too quiet. Birds didn't sing as deep in. The light didn't penetrate the same way. You could stand 10 feet into that tree line and feel 100 miles from home.
Follow for part 2.